While the brutal beating death of 10-year-old Seth Ireland continues to be investigated, the boy's father looks to file suit against Fresno County's Child Protective Services. At the same time, the Fresno Deputy Sheriff's Association is speaking out on behalf of one of their own. It's our top story at 11 p.m. Preston Phillips is here with the latest developments in this case. Preston?
And John, we're talking about the deputy who was working at the Fresno County Jail on December 26th. According to reports, that's the day Seth's mother and her boyfriend tried to drop Seth and his 7-year-old brother off with jail staff, but later decided against it. This deputy was the last county employee to see Seth before he was severely beaten on December 29th. Eric Schmidt heads the union that represents Fresno County law enforcement. Tonight, he's backing the deputy who he says decided not to take in 10-year-old Seth Ireland and his 7-year-old brother when their mother Renee Ireland and her boyfriend LeBaron Vaughn attempted to drop the boys off on the jail's doorstep. It was December 26, 2008, just 3 days before young Seth was brutally beaten.
For contacting CPS and trying to, he went above and beyond, contacting them, leaving a message.
Schmidt says the deputy knew of 2 open referrals on Seth Ireland that were under investigation pertaining to general neglect and physical abuse, and could have held the children for 72 hours. But at the time, Schmidt says, the deputy was not aware of the specifics. And he says when the deputy saw no signs of abuse or neglect and could not get a hold of CPS officials, he decided not to hold the boys. The right judgment call, according to Schmidt.
There were so many warnings, so many calls, so many problems in such a short period of time, and they didn't take Seth out of there. I don't know whether or not if they would have had 100 more social workers, it would have made a difference.
Warren Paboujian, the attorney who represented Stacey Johnson-Klein during her sexual discrimination lawsuit against Fresno State, has now been retained by Seth's father, Joe Hudson. Paboujian says in 60 to 90 days, he will file a civil lawsuit against Fresno County's Child Protective Services for failing to protect the boy.
I don't think the manpower in this particular case was it. I just think that the ball was dropped and they weren't properly investigating this case, and that's what happened to Seth.
Paboujian says all the boy's father wants is for the truth to come out and for this never to happen to a child while under the care of CPS ever again.
Well, usually I find that the larger the award or the amount of settlement institutes change.
And neither Paboujian nor Hudson has been able to view Seth's entire file, which was released by CPS earlier this week. A large majority of it was blacked out by the district attorney's office to avoid jeopardizing the integrity of any ongoing criminal proceedings and to protect the due process rights of the accused. Paboujian says only when he's granted the power of subpoena will the full truth of this case be revealed. The Fresno County Department of Family and Children's Services, who oversees CPS, declined to comment on the case today.